All right. Hey, what's up, boxing fans? I'm Miguel Maravilla from Fight News here with welterweight Blair The Flair Cobbs as he takes on Alexis Rocha in the co-feature for Virgil Ortiz, Michael McKenzie, live on the Zone next Saturday, March 19th. Blair, let's talk about this fight, man. The minute this fight was announced, I was like, wow, this is solid. This is a good co-feature.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the main attraction, and let's make it happen. Let's see what it's all about. Blair the Flair versus a very top contender, very big contender. Let's see what happens. It's going to be exciting.
You're coming off a very impressive win in your last fight against Solomon. Uh, how do you rate yourself in that performance leading up to this fight? How has it prepared you? You know, how has that fight prepared you to take on the task of taking on Rocha?
It prepared me pretty well. Just making sure that everything that I'm doing in the gym is transferring over into the real fight, and I'm becoming more and more seasoned as a fighter. All we need is just more fights. Now we just need more fights, and people did not expect me to look that good against such a good fighter. Especially with a big year layoff and all that stuff, and it's just constantly big layoffs. Like even like okay, it's almost been more than 6 months since my last fight. Let's make things happen a little bit faster. Let's give the crowd what they really want to see.
Your opponent, Alexis Rocha, what's he bring to the ring style wise? What threat is he to you?
Well, he's a tough contender. He's not going to give up. He's going to try to give me as much resistance as possible, and Blair the Flair is going to have to make sure that he is dominant in every single round. He might want to push a little bit harder and bring on a little bit more pressure than usual. But Blair the Flair, that's nothing new. That's nothing new. I've been against multiple guys that does the exact same thing. Blair the Flair is used to being in the fire. So let's see what happens when he's in the fire. I love seeing these young fighters get in the fire with me and see if they can survive.
You mentioned the fire. Is this obviously the biggest challenge in your careers thus far?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the biggest challenge because I think one of the biggest challenges is just fighting the big fights. Caribbean was a big fight. It's not like I had all the finances and all the things that like make my training the best it could possibly be. I'm literally learning on the job. Fighting Villa Lobos, I'm literally learning on the job. As I'm training. I don't have a big extensive like resume of like easy wins that slowly get me acclimated to fighting. I had to learn as I go. That means getting hit a couple times. That means getting knocked down a couple times and still learning how to prevail, going through the obstacles and learning how to prevail.
What your opponent Rocha, he only has one defeat. What what flaws did you see? What did you see in that fight where he lost to Rashidi Alice? Did you actually have you watched tape on that?
I watched tape a little bit on that. It looks like he's having a hard time adjusting, changing. Like he's been the same person for a very long time, dealing with the same trainers, boxing the same way. It looks like he's getting bored in there, and he's getting way too comfortable. And dealing with somebody like Blair the Flair is very uncomfortable. So we're going to see what happens when things get uncomfortable again. Can he rise to the occasion this time? See, I've been going through it, the uncomfortable shit. I've been going through that consistently. Nothing, it gets me more like I'm more controlled and more comfortable being in uncomfortable situations, but when it comes to other people, it's up to them. It's up to Alexis. Can he handle being in there with a killer like Blair the Flair?
Would you say you like being in pressure situations? You like being tested? Is that pretty much what you're saying there?
Yeah, every fight, my back is against the wall. I'm fighting against the odds. I'm fighting against the people. I'm fighting against the fans, and I still somehow survive. I still somehow thrive. I'm not just surviving the fights. I'm thriving in the fights. I'm dominating the fights, and that's what it's all about. Can you dominate? Because just barely making it out of a Blair the Flair fight is not going to cut it. Blair the Flair is a true top contender and believes that he is great. I believe I'm great, not just good, great. So that's where I'm going.
Love the confidence. What's this preparation been like for you? How you've been preparing in your regular stables. Are you still with the Prince Rance stables?
Yeah, I'm right now I'm with Wild Card. I'm training at Wild Card Gym, and we got a lot of top contenders. Most of them are left-handed. It just so happens to be like I'm fighting a left-handed fighter. It's like, I could not be more prepared for such a fight. And the thing is, to be a wild card fighter is a lot. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot going on when it comes to being a wild card fighter. We're fighting top contenders, inspiring top contenders day in, day out. Most people like Alexis and many others, they only go there 1 or 2 days out of a camp, because it's too hard sparring. It's too hard to be dealing with people like me in the gym. But I thrive in that fire.
Where do you see yourself? You mentioned you're great. Where do you see yourself right now at this point in your career in terms of the rankings? How far do you feel you're from the big names?
I feel that I'm very, very close, and all it takes is just one. And it's always been like that. All it takes is just one opportunity. Look, preparation, opportunity equals success. And like, there's a lot of fighters out there that are young. They might be climbing the ladder with specially picked fighters that they fight and like don't give no kind of resistance to, and they just luckily coming up the rankings without fighting nobody. I'm fighting all the top tough guys and moving up the rankings the hard way. And it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like, Blair the Flair is tougher than all of the other fighters. Why? Because I'm not afraid to put my life on the line when it comes to signing that contract. Most of these other fighters, they want to protect their I'm ready to go.
Well said. So if you were to have this magic wand and there is a specific fight, who would you actually want to fight? And of course, things go well against Alexis Rocha.
Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia should be the next big fight. After that, Conor Ben should be a big attraction. Possibly Adrian Broner, a big attraction. And moving up the ladder to fight Terrence Crawford. I knocked Terrence Crawford off. I should be number one. Who else? Who else is there? They got PBC playing with the belts, but look, you can't stop star status. You can't stop a mega star from being what he is. So they can hold on to those belts all they want, but the money is in the power of a star. And hell, I can just, after all of that shit is said and done, we can just move on to Canelo Alvarez. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is that I don't care about these rankings and these belts. What I care about is putting on mega attractions for the fans, because it's the fans that pay. Becoming a mega star, $1 billion attraction is where it's all about.
You obviously have this charisma. You have this energy. Can't describe it, but what could what we see from you? I know you've had some pretty good ring entrances. What can we expect this time as far as your ring entry goes?
Look, I only come in great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a whole lot of fun with the ring entrance, the costumes, this, that, the interviews. Like, I love to talk shit. You never know what might happen in that damn ring. You know, I might sit on his stool before he sit on the stool. Ask his trainer, how we doing? Like, your boy taking the ass whooping. Like, you know, it's gonna be fun. You know, we gotta keep boxing exciting, keep boxing interesting, and that's what Blair The Flair does.
Awesome, man. Before you leave, man, you go ahead. Your trademark, your Ric Flair.
Absolutely. You can check me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair The Flair. And for more exciting content, official, BlairTheFlair.com. Woo! Because nobody does it better, baby.